Hello students. So this is the third lecture of the simple harmonic motion. The chapter name it is oscillations, 11th class chapter. So today we are discussing about the force law in the simple harmonic motion. When a particle is in SHM, then what is the force represented by the particle? When the particle should be doing or making simple harmonic motions, what type of force will be acting on that? So the force is nothing but, we have to say here, that is the restoring force. When the particle is moving always towards the mean position, then there is a force will be needed. That force is known as the restoring force. That force is known as the restoring force. For suppose here there is a spring is fixed with the one point. So this is the fixed point, and here we have to hanging with some mass m. Whenever we have to pluck this in downward direction, then the displacement is in this direction, but the force will be acting in the upward direction. So this is the force acting on the body which was hanging by the spring. When the spring is in downward direction, the displacement is in downward direction. So this is the displacement is in downwards. The force will be acting in upwards. So here the force which is needed to, which can be moves always to the mean position of that system. That force is known as the restoring force. Restoring force. So this force can be always moving back to the object to its main position. Moving back to the object to its main position. So that is the restoring force. Here the restoring force is directly proportional to the displacement of the spring, and also in negative in nature. The negative in nature means, so these two are in opposite nature. If the displacement is in this direction and the force will be in this direction. Here this is the restoring force. So from this you can say the displacement of the particle is directly proportional to the force acting on that spring, and also in negative in nature. Okay. So how it is possible? Let us see here. So force law in SHM. Force law in SHM. So let us take in a spring having the mass m, and it was elongated with some weight, and then the weight should be, the spring should be moves towards the main position always. That force, a force which can be reback to the object always to the main position, that force is known as the restoring force. So this restoring force is always directly proportional to the displacement, and also in negative in nature. Okay. So from Newton's second law, F is equal, you can say ma, it is Newton's second law. Right? So you can write that ma it is equal some here. Ma is directly proportional to the minus x. Ma is directly proportional to the minus x here. Okay. So then we can write that, so ma it is equal to minus into some constant k into x here. Okay. So here the acceleration of the particle A is equal to minus k by m into x here. The k by m value is related to the simple harmonic motion equation, the basic equation A directly proportional to the minus omega square x. This is the equation of the SHM. This is the equation for spring, which is loaded spring. So then we have to compare these two equations. Omega square it is equal here k by m, and omega it is equal to under root of k by m. So let's find the time period of the loaded spring here, it is 2 pi by omega. 2 pi by omega. Already you know that omega value. Therefore, time period t is equal to 2 pi by, what is the omega here? It is under root of k by m here. So let us simplify here. It is 2 pi into under root of m by k. So this is the time period of the loaded spring here. Loaded spring here. Okay. And here you can write that the frequency of the loaded spring here, it is F is equal to 1 by T. The number of oscillations per the unit time, it can be written as 1 by 2 pi into under root of k by m. So this is the reciprocal of this value, reciprocal of the time period. So then it is the frequency. So here this is the frequency and this is the time period. Okay, clear? So therefore you can say that the loaded spring having the time period of under root 2 pi into root of m by k and the frequency of 1 by 2 pi into root of k by m. Okay, now let us write the equation for the force acting on the spring. Force acting on the spring. How we can write that? Let us see. The force F is equal to ma from Newton's second law. Okay, F is equal to ma here. So m should be heated. We can written as a. It is equal to, already you know that acceleration of a simple harmonic motion, it is equal minus omega square x or y, whatever the displacement of the particle here. So then we have to substitute here. Therefore F is equal, you can write m into minus omega square x. A will be replacing by the minus omega square x. Here you can write that minus m omega square x. So this is the force. If m omega square, it is equal, let it be a constant k. It is the spring constant. It is the spring constant. So then you can write that F is equal minus kx. F is equal minus kx. From this equation you can write that F directly proportional to the minus x. F directly proportional to the minus x. From this you can write that the force will always directly proportional to the displacement of the spring here and also in opposite direction So here the force, the equation of force, it is equal here, that is F is equal minus m omega square x. This is the equation of force law in SHM, or force law for SHM. So that is the force will be F is equal minus m omega square x here. Clear? If omega it is equal to 2 pi by t, then you can write that F it is equal to minus m 2 pi by t whole square into x. So this is the force, equation of force for the simple harmonic motion. Very very important equation. So equation of force for simple harmonic motion. Okay, so let us doing some applications according to the force acting for simple harmonic motion. Let us see when the particle is performing, let us take any particle of a spring performing SHM. So this is the mass m, which can be performing simple harmonic motion. It is in the simple harmonic motion, and force acting on that, it is F1, and the time period it is T1. Okay, and at the same particle will again it can giving some displacement with the time period of T2, and then the force acting on that particle, that is F2 here. So now we have to find the resultant time period resultant time period when the forces are combined to each other. It means if F1 plus F2 is equal to F and F1 minus F2 is equal to F. It means if two forces are combined to each other and if two forces are acting opposite to each other. In these two cases we have to find the resultant time period. If a particle is doing simple harmonic motion, in the time period of T1 the force is acting F1. At the same particle the time period has been T2 and the force will be acting F2. If the two forces are combined to each other, it means one they can be combined and other they can be, in one case the two forces are in the same direction and in the other case the two forces are in opposite direction. So then what would be the time period of that particle? Let us find. So here the force will be, already you know that F it is equal minus m omega square x. Omega it is equal 2 pi by t here. So then F it is equal minus m 2 pi by t whole square into x. So this is the force equation for the simple harmonic motion. Right, now let us write if force is F1, then time period t is equal to t1. Therefore F1 is equal, you can write that minus m 2 pi by t1 whole square into x. Okay. Similarly, the equation of F2, if force is F2, then time period t is equal to t2. So now let us write the F2 is equal minus m 2 pi by t2 whole square into x. Okay. Now the condition is if two forces are combined to each other in the same direction, if two forces are combined in an opposite direction, then what would be the resultant time period? Let us find. So if two forces are combined, if F1 plus F2 is equal to F, if F1 plus F2 is equal to F, so then so what will be happening here? So then you can write that F1, what is the F1 here? Minus m 2 pi by t1 whole square into x plus F2 is equal to minus m 2 pi by t whole square into x. Okay, and it is equal, what is that? F here. F it is equal minus m F it is equal minus m 2 pi by t whole square into x here. So then here what is the common factor? Then it will be cancelled to each other. The remaining values are present there. So here it is equal to t2. So 2 pi whole square will be cancelled out. X will be cancelled out. So the remaining term will be here plus into minus, it is the minus. Here also minus, the minus will be common. It is, this is also plus and this is also plus here. Okay, clear? So then how we can write that? It is 1 by t square, it is equal 1 by t square. 2 pi by t whole square, it is 1 by t square. 2 pi square and 2 pi square will be cancelled. 1 by t square it is equal. So this minus will be common here. This is also plus and this is also plus. So therefore 1 by t1 square and plus 1 by t2 square. Clear? So therefore you can write that t square it is equal t1 square t2 square by t1 square t2 square is the LCM here, and it will be, you can write that, what is that here? t1 square t2, it is t2 square plus t1 square. So if we have to find t value, if there is, therefore t is equal, you can write therefore t is equal under root of, you can write square and square will be cancelled, t1 and t2 by under root of t1 square plus t2 square. Okay, so this is the t value. Let us check once. Okay, so the square will be removed. It is under root. Square and under root will be cancelled, t1, t2, and by under root of t1 square plus t2 square. Okay, so this is the common time period when they can be combined to each other. They can be combined to each other. Okay, if the time period t1 is equal to t2, so then if time period t1 is equal, t2 is equal to t, so then what would be happening here? T into t square by, here t is equal to t square by, what is that? Root of 2t, t square plus 2t square. Okay, and the square and the root will be cancelled. It is t square by root 2t, t square by root 2t, so then t and t will be cancelled, t by root 2, so t dash it is equal to t by root 2, t by root 2. Okay, so this is the equation of the time period when the two forces will be having in the same direction. Two forces will be combined in the same direction, then the time period it is equal t1 t2 by t1 square plus t2 square. If they can be in opposite direction, f1 minus f2 is equal to f. So then simply here there is a minus. Here there is minus f. Clear? Very important notification it is. In this case, if two forces opposite direction, two forces are in opposite direction, so then you can write t is equal from that equation t1 by t2, t1 t2 by under root of t1 square minus t2 square, t1 square minus t2 square. This is the time period where if two forces are in opposite direction, so this is the same direction. If two forces will be in opposite direction, so then the common time period should be t1 t2 by under root of t1 square minus t2 square. Okay, if two forces are acting perpendicular to each other, if two forces are, first case, two forces are in same direction. Okay, so this is the f2 and this is the f1. This is the first case. The second case it is two forces are in opposite direction. Two forces are in opposite direction. This is the second case. Now the two forces are perpendicular to each other. Perpendicular to each other. This is the third case. If they are perpendicular to each other, the net force should be, you can write that. How you can write that? F it is equal under root of f1 square plus f2 square. So from the parallelogram law, you can write that net force it is equal under root of f1 square plus f2 square to f1 f2 cos theta. So theta is equal 90, cos 90 is equal 0. Then you can write that f1 square plus f2 square. f1 already you know that 2 pi by t1 whole square and m into 2 pi by t2 whole square. So here also minus m into 2 pi by t whole square. So then how we can write the time period? It is equal here 1 by t whole square, 1 by t whole square, or it is like that 1 by t square it is equal to under root of 1 by t1 whole square and plus 1 by t2 whole square. Remaining all will be cancelled out. So here t will be, we need to find t value. So t for time period. So then how we can find? So here the value it is, we have to clear that. So here 1 by t1 square and 1 by t2 square whole square. f1 it is equal 1 by t1 square, f1 square. Okay, so that is equal, you can write on squaring on both sides, it is 1 by t power 4 it is equal 1 by t1 power 4 plus 1 by t2 power 4. Okay, square and square will be cancelled. So here t power 4 it is equal, you can write that t1 power 4 t2 power 4 by t1 power 4 plus t2 power 4 here. T2 power 4. Okay. So this is the time period of the if two forces will be acting in opposite direction. So let us simplification of this equation. So where we can write that this equation should be here, t should be this power 4 should become this side, and this can be written as t is equal to t1 power 4 t2 power 4 by t1 power 4 plus t2 power 4 whole power 1 by 4. So this is the time period when the two forces are acting perpendicular to each other. This is the perpendicular. Okay. So this is the equation 3, and this is the equation 1 here, and the equation 2 it is the here. When they are in opposite direction, the t should be here minus. Already we erased it. Okay. Okay, clear. So if two forces will be acting in same direction, then the net time period. If the two forces will be acting in opposite direction, then the net time period. If the two forces are perpendicular to each other, this is the time period. Okay, right? Now the projection of a particle, in uniform circular motion, show the projection of a particle in uniform circular motion is in SHM. Okay. So let us write the projection of the particle should be written as, so here there is a particle which is moves in the uniform circular motion of origin O. So this is the diameter of the circle. This is x dash, and this is y dash. So these are the origins of the circle. Now a particle P is moving along with the anti-clock direction. So this is the anti-clock direction, a particle P. At time t is equal to 0, the particle is at point O dash. After time t is equal to t, then the particle P is at point A, or at point it is nothing but B. So now the displacement, the foot of this foot or the displacement of the particle from the x-axis, it is the, so it can be said to be n, and similarly the y-axis, the foot of this point, it is y-axis, it is m. Okay, so the distance between O to n, it is the x here. The distance between O to m, it is the y here, because of along with the y-axis, along with the x-axis. So here the amplitude of this particle, this is the amplitude OP is equal to A here. So this is the theta, whereas angular displacement, and this is the theta, whereas angular displacement. Along with the x-axis, this is the theta. Along with the y-axis, this is the theta. So here there are two, so that is right angle triangles are there. Two right angles triangles are there. So from these two we can say that, we can find that the displacement of the particle which is in the uniform circular motion. So the displacement should be find out along with the x-axis. We have to take in ONP. So that is the right angle triangle. If there is along with the y-axis, you can write that OMB or P. So that is the right angle triangle. So the displacement along with the x-axis, we can write that. So here x it is equal, here sine theta. So here theta should be here, the displacement should be x. X, it is the adjacent of this triangle, adjacent of this triangle. So hence you can write that cos theta, it is equal ON by adjacent by diagonal hypotenuse, that is O to B, O to B here. ON, it is the x here, OB, it is the amplitude of the particle, it is the cos theta. So theta, it is the angle, the angular displacement, it is equal angular velocity into time, angular velocity into time here. So then cos omega t, theta is equal omega t should be written as x by a. Therefore x, it is equal to a cos omega t. So this is the displacement of the particle which is in the uniform circular motion, which is in the uniform circular motion. Very, very important. So if we have taken this triangle, this right angle triangle, so then if the cos theta, so here the displacement of the particle from O to M, it is the y, it is the opposite side of this triangle. So then sin theta, it is equal, sin theta is equal opposite, that is OM by, from this triangle I need to say, so OM by hypotenuse, it is equal OB. So then you can write that OM, it is equal to y by OB, it is equal to a. This is the sin theta. So whereas y, it is equal a sin theta here, but theta, it is equal omega t. Then clearly you can write that. So y, it is equal a sin omega t. So this is also the displacement of the particle along with the y axis. So if we have taken y axis, then you have to write this equation. If you have to take this x axis, you have to write this equation. So both are similar equations. Okay, right. So this is the theta is the angular displacement, and omega is the angular velocity. So if you know the displacement, then you have to find the velocity and acceleration. Why you need to find the acceleration? So if you have to find the simple harmonic motion, then you have to must find the acceleration of the particle. It is in directly proportional to its displacement and opposite in nature. So hence you need to find the displacement, acceleration. Okay, so from this equation you can derive with respect to time on both sides. Then d by dt of the x, it is equal d by dt of a cos omega t. Okay, so here d by dt of x, it is nothing but dx by dt, it is equal velocity, you can write that. So then a into d by dt of cos omega t. So cos omega t, it is equal a into minus sin omega t, minus sin omega t. And omega t stands for omega with respect to derivation of the time. So therefore you can write that v is equal to a omega minus a omega sin omega t. So this is the equation 2, which can be the velocity of the particle which is in the simple harmonic motion, the projected by the uniform circular motion. Okay, and now we can derive on both sides this equation with respect to the time. It is d by dt of the velocity v is equal to d by dt of the minus a omega sin omega t. Okay, so then dv by dt, it is equal to acceleration of the particle. So therefore minus of a omega should be come outside, where d by dt of sin omega t here. So d by dt of sin omega t, it is nothing but cos omega t. So the derivation of the sin omega t is the cos omega t, and omega t stands for the, with respect to time, it is omega. So there is omega into omega, it is a omega square cos omega t, a, it is equal to. So but you know that from equation 1 you can say that x is equal to a cos omega t. X is equal to a cos omega t. Therefore a, it is equal minus omega square into x here. So x, it is, since x, it is equal to a cos omega t. So a cos omega t should be, stands for x. Therefore a is equal minus omega square x. So this is obviously the simple harmonic wave equation, the simple harmonic motion of the particle which is in the projection of the uniform circular motion. So then you can say that a proportional minus x, So here the acceleration of the particle is directly proportional to its displacement and also in opposite sign. Okay, whereas omega square it is the constant. Omega square it is the constant here. So hence we can say that the projection of particle in uniform circular motion is in simple harmonic motion. Hence it is proved. Hence it is proved. Okay. So if we have to find the time period, so from the omega square value, it should be omega square it is equal to a by x here. Omega it is equal to under root of a by x. Therefore, time period t is equal to 2 pi by omega, where omega should be written as under root of a by x. Therefore, 2 pi into root of x by a. So this is the time period of the particle which is in the uniform circular motion. It is displacement by acceleration. Displacement by acceleration. In our next video, we can see that in case of simple pendulum, what is the equation of the simple harmonic motion? How we can derive the simple harmonic motion? The pendulum oscillations will be in simple harmonic motion, and also we can find the time period in various cases. Okay, if you like this video, please share, like and comment, and do not forget to subscribe. Thank you one and all.